Okay, I did it. Look at it. This is part of Russia, in Montreal. It was very hard to find, but I did it. Okay, today I'm gonna talk about why. Okay, I'm good. Today I'm gonna talk about why you don't want to use all this fancy serverless Lambdas, Vercel, EKS, all these fancy DynamoDBs and everything else which locks you in the cloud infrastructure. I mean, I just said it, right? So first thing, it would be huge vendor lock-in. It's not that easy to move your services if you're stuck with some proprietary DynamoDB. Way easier if it's actually just Postgres, you know? Super simple, open source, you can install it anywhere. You could also use some like cloud Postgres instances, probably would be easier to move from it. But if you start using by yourself or use managed Postgres, which is pretty much same, they just usually would restart it for you. And actually sometimes when they restart you don't expect it and you still have downtime, even though you're paying like 3 times more than you would pay for a regular VPS service. It did happen to us with Microsoft, so guys, beware. Yeah, this is the huge point. And second point, you could easily move between clouds if it's just simple Ubuntu LTS server. So for example, you got credits from AWS for 1 year, and then after this year you don't want to start paying for that. You're like, okay, I'll shop around. You got credits from Microsoft, you go there and you rent basically simple virtual machine, right? So on AWS you start with EC2, on Microsoft you do virtual machine. Google Cloud definitely has something very similar too. And then the end game, when you don't have any more credits, you could just buy very cheap VPS server from many providers like OVH Cloud, Hertz, I'm not sure if I pronounced correctly, and just you could even buy your own servers, same as who did it? Signal 67, I think. Signal 67 did. They just bought their own Dell servers and they saved like millions, as they claim, which I definitely believe, because prices for AWS and like Azure just insane, just extremely insane. Okay, third thing. When you start, yes, you could probably start with something simple like Vercel. But if you have to do something more like customized, more complex, for example, I just wanted to have WebSocket connections, and I realized that Vercel doesn't. Maybe it's supported now, but it did not support it before. And who knows what else would come up? You know, like, do you really want to like gamble with it? That you start, you look in, then you need to grow, and you're like, oh shit, now should I move to my own thing or actually like try to work around it? Yeah, I would personally prefer to start with my own thing. I know all the hassle I have to do beforehand, and then yeah, way easier to customize if you need to do anything like with load balancing, with Nginx, whatever. And that's it for today. In the next video I'll talk about how I do my own cloud setup. Stay tuned.